Recording.
Relay that thought.
All gotta be quiet now.
Oh, he's got some power over there. He's gonna hit that record button.
Doing my production here.
Step one.
Truly.
How you doing, Tony? I see you on the screen there.
I'm doing very well, thank you. Merry Christmas.
Since we all wore our Christmas sweaters.
I'm sorry I did not get the memo, but guess what? I keep this on my desk this time of year. Do you see it?
Yeah.
There you go. Nice.
So Merry Christmas to all of you.
You too.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. That's gonna be that time of year already. Where does your go?
I don't know. It literally just zipped by.
Yep.
This has been
I thought it was April. It's like 60 degrees this weekend.
Yeah.
It's gonna mow the grass. No, it's generally candy already.
Has anyone gotten a chance to take a look at all the pretty lights out?
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Well, thanks everyone. Welcome to the last meeting of 2025 for the Goldendale City Council. Shelley, would you please take roll call?
Gail Wheeler. Leon. Steve Johnson.
Here.
Lauren Meeker. Absent. Ellie Casey.
Here.
Andy Holm. Daniel President.
Here.
And Mylard Walling.
Here. Okay, Lauren texted me earlier today that he was going to be out sick. Is there a motion to excuse Lauren Megger?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to excuse Lauren Megger. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Okay, great. Now we'll move on. First off, I wanted to thank our two council members who this is their last meeting, Ellie Casey and Mylene Walling. We've got some plaques here for you guys in appreciation of your dedication and hard work to our city council. Thanks so much for your service. There you go, Ellie. Pass that down to Mylene. It's just been a pleasure working with you two, and hope you keep in touch.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll make a few comments at the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, great. We'll move on to the next item on the agenda then, and that's a closed public comment. Is there anybody here or on the line that would like to make a public comment on topics to do with our agenda?
Just hands up.
Roger, yes, did you have a public comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I note that Andy came dressed as the Gifford Pinchot National Forest. But I do have two things. You'll see in the background tonight from the Rowena fire, a rather destroyed bus. Tomorrow, the Columbia River Gorge Commission is meeting. We're trying to discuss changes in the management plan that will make it a whole lot easier for people who are victims of the Burgoyne and the Rowena fires, and of course the fires of previous year in Skamania County and any future fires. And I will say this, that we are having some opposition to those from the tribes, and it will be very interesting tomorrow. But so I just want to give you a heads up that if you want to tune into that, it starts at 8:30. You'll have to go online and sign up in order to be able to access it. And the other quick question is, I noticed the last thing you're doing today is a executive session. Is there, because you're not meeting again after that, will you come out of that with a public statement or not?
No, we do not plan on having anything after the executive session.
Thank you. That saves me a bunch of time and effort. And Merry Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas, Roger.
Thank you, Roger.
Anybody else like to make a public comment? Nobody else on the line has their hand up? Okay, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda then. And that's approval of the agenda and the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agenda and the consent agenda. Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Hey,
Opposed? Great, thanks. We'll go ahead and move on to the next item on the agenda then, and that'll be department reports. And we'll start over here with Chief of Police, Mike Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, as a month of November, we had 262 calls of service. We had 12 arrests in the month of November, kind of continued that cycle through December. So normally we should be pretty slow this time of year. We're not. Same, sounding like a broken record because it seems like every month's kind of the same climbing. But right now we're at 3,542 calls to date. And so we're just holding down the fort. We do have a couple people in the hiring process to get those positions filled. So the grant came through, so we're still working on the finalization of that. And so hopefully we'll start the first year off good. So
Great, thank you, Chief. Building official, Robert Thompson.
Well, I'm just gonna kind of do a comparison from last year's to this year's for our building department and our code enforcement. We had this year a total of 105 permits issued with a total fees of $55,720. Last year we had 115 permits with a $45,000 fee for those. We had 4 new homes, houses built and 2 factory built structures, that'd be manufactured home or modular homes, and 5 demos. And this year and last year, we had 5 homes built and 3 factory built structures done. So we're pretty much on track where we were last year. We have a little more revenue with the school project. So pretty much on track, kind of standard every year, pretty close to those numbers. And then for our code enforcement, find my note. We had 73 total cases this year compared to 43 last year. So, and this year we tried using our citations more, so I wrote several more citations, those totaling $3,189 in written citations, and then we had 2 liens right now for the amount of $13,609.50 for projects that we had to get done and then lien too. So I don't know if you have anything else, but just kind of a comparison to where we were last year. We didn't have any citations, any liens. So trying to be a little more proactive on getting stuff done.
Great, thanks, Robert.
yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yes, thank you, Mayor. Is there any indication of next year, beginning of next year, of any potential coming in and requests to come in for building?
I've had a few inquiries on maybe some senior living facility. It's nothing in the planning stages right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk, there's some property for sale over here off of Simcoe. People are trying to figure out what they can do with it and there's a lot of questions coming in of what can we do, what's possible, so. And it's pretty open, it's a
Yeah.
C2 zoning, so about anything can happen there.
Yeah, okay.
So hopefully we'll get more stuff coming in. I don't see any big projects right here in town at the moment.
Yeah, okay,
Usually
yeah.
that's the hospital, the schools.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
thanks, Robert. And is Doug on the line? Okay, Public Works Director Doug Franham, are you on the line there?
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now. Thanks, Doug. We can't hear you anymore, Doug. Are you on mute maybe?
How about now?
Okay, now we can hear you.
There's two mute buttons.
Okay, we can hear you loud and clear now. Thank you.
Anyways, I'll probably be at the next council meeting, via Zoom to kind of give numbers, a shakedown of how our year went, but just kind of some quick updates. The guys have been obviously getting stuff ready for snow, even though it's spring already, I think, but going through all of our buildings, snow equipment, that kind of stuff, getting it ready in case we do get a winter. We got some of them doing some work on our transmission line up above the chlorine station, probably going to go through the end of the month. The treatment plant project, I think we're pretty close to closing that out. We had our last walkthrough, I think 3 weeks ago, and we didn't find any more issues that they had to fix other than some programming issues. We did a walkthrough on Darlin today of a few things that we want them to get tidied up before they do the winter shutdown, and come back in the spring. And then because of all the flooding that's happening on the west side of the mountains, we're kind of going through all of our sewer systems that lay in the lowlands and trying to get all that stuff basically bomb proof in case some of that water hits us. And then another thing, we've been working with Aspect Consulting and RH2 on some issues that we're having at the chlorine station, the well there, and they're going to do a presentation with a few of us here in the next week or so, but just to kind of give you guys a heads up, it sounds like when that whole motor and pump system were put in, they were way oversized for what we needed. And so we're having some cooling issues there that we may have to get addressed in 2026 that may cost us a couple dollars. And lastly, I'd just like to thank Ellie and Mylan for their service. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Doug. Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it. Anybody have any follow-up questions for Doug? Okay, thanks, Doug. Appreciate it. Okay, I had one thing I wanted to bring up. As you guys know, next month is the AWC City Action Days. And I'd encourage you to check out the AWC website. Just lots of good information on there. You can also find the AWC legislative agenda. I've reached out to all the department heads to, when you get a chance to take a look at that legislative agenda that AWC's developed, as well as any other legislative bills that you see on there. You see things that pertain to the city like we did last year. You know, reach out to us, and when we go to Olympia to meet with our legislators, we can bring those topics up and promote those like we did last year, so that'd be helpful. Anyways, so we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, and that'll be council business. And this is the WSDOT grant for design of airport runway. The city of Goldendale was awarded $71,250 in a grant for phase design for the Goldendale Airport pavement widening project with a match of $3,750. Corley McFarland will be on Zoom to answer any questions you might have regarding this project and the grant. Are you on the line, Corley? Oh, Corley, he didn't make it on the line. Okay, Corley didn't make it on the line, but all the information is in the packet about that grant. Yeah, you might remember several months ago, the council, we talked about applying for various grants for our airport. One of the specific ones was this runway widening project. We were awarded the phase one design of that grant. That's what this is about. There is a fiscal impact to the city of $3,750 out of the $71,250 match grant that we obtained. And so wanted to run that by the council for your information. and ask for a motion to authorize entering into that.
Just a quick question, Mayor, which fund will this be taken from?
That will come out of that 3,750. That would come out of the general fund.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if it was gonna come from a street fund since it's working on roadway or what, but.
Yeah, not street funds. I could make sure that, but I'm almost positive it's just general fund for airport related topics. Theon, did you have your hand up?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I was just curious about, so the agreement states that, this is, we have to be open, we have to, the airport must remain open for the expected life of 20 years. Otherwise, 100% of the grant funding must be returned within 30 days of closure. So our anticipation is 20 years for sure.
Right, they put that kind of wording in there so that you don't take that money and do things and then decide you want to use that airport for other things. That's part of it. So yeah, that's part of the stipulations of accepting grant money for airports is they want to make sure that their money is being used wisely and that you continue to be an airport after it's done. So yeah.
So no matter what, we will have an airport for 20 years and we have to, based on this.
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to make clear on that. Thank you.
You betcha. Thank you.
Well, Mayor, I'd like to make a comment. We've been working on this, the airport committee's been working on this for several years to widen the runway, and it's a great start to make a big improvement for the airport. Again, it's a safety issue, and so I'm real pleased that we able to get this. So yeah, anyway, that's what I had, Mayor, about this. So are you waiting for a motion or?
Yeah, if anybody would like to.
I move to authorize the mayor to enter into a grant agreement with the Washington State Department of Transportation, project number GCC 1040 for pavement widening, phase 1, in the amount of $71,250.
I'll second it. No, I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. Motion passes. Okay, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda then, and that'll be the first ordinance. Ordinance number 1551, the public safety sales tax. As you might remember, the city of Goldendale passed resolution number 747 to place a safety sales tax of 0.01% on the November 4th, 2025 ballot. The voters approved the safety sales tax and were certified by the Klickitat County Auditor's Office. In order to enact this, we had to have our attorney write the ordinance to start collecting that and bring it to the council. You have two options, motion options there, whichever one someone would like to make. One of them is, as you can see there, for the first reading, and the other one is to waive a second reading. And so that would be totally at the council's discretion.
I move to adopt ordinance number 1551, adopting Goldendale Municipal Code, Chapter 3.29, Public Safety Sales Tax, and waiving the second reading.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 1551 and waive the second reading. Any comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thanks. Motion passes. We'll move on to the next ordinance. Okay, the next ordinance on our agenda is ordinance number 1553, the noxious weed list. I just realized on this agenda it says noxious weed list, but indeed it's noxious weed list. The ordinance committee met and discussed adding the Klickitat County noxious weed list to the Goldendale Municipal Code. Our building official, Robert Thompson, is here in attendance to answer any questions on this subject? And again, we have two motions listed. One, to have this for a first reading and the other, to, waive the second reading. That's council discretion.
Okay, I move to adopt ordinance number 1553, amending Goldendale Municipal Code, section 8.12.040 to adopt the Clickitat County noxious weed list as the city of Goldendale noxious weed, not weak, list and waive the second reading.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion or questions for, Robert on this matter? Or Robert, would you like to, elaborate any on that?
Well, I'll just say that we needed to establish a weed list according to our weed ordinances, and we didn't have that. So that's why we did this, and we thought the best way to do that was just follow the county's lead and use their list and as ours and refer to that list as our noxious weed list. Makes it pretty simple. They update theirs, I think, every 4 years or.
Yeah.
So it works pretty well, and they're pretty good at what they do. Marty was great at that.
Hey, yeah, Steve.
Obviously, we needed that list to make it whole. Is there any language in that that's going to help you facilitate enforcing our?
That's the first step for sure. We have to have a list in order to enforce anything. And then certainly, this will help us enforce it. I'm gonna need training to identify the weeds, and so I'm gonna be looking into that to help me do my job and try to work with the county on, getting a good knowledge before I start enforcing it, so I know what I'm talking about when it comes to weeds. So yeah, it's something we're gonna work on, and hopefully we can get control of some of this stuff before it becomes a problem. So
Have you seen the list yet?
oh, it's long. There's different tiers to that list, so some aren't.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
Thank goodness, yeah.
If anybody would like a copy of that list, just reach out to us. We, had that, from Clickitat County, and it was presented at the last ordinance committee and gone over there. Dion, did you have your hand up?
Yes, I do. 2 questions. One is, do any of the listed noxious weeds overlap with any of the Native American indigenous plants to the area? And if so, I think it would be a really good idea if you get in touch with Yakima Nation and have them come out and help you work through that list and make sure that you're not putting any of their plants in jeopardy. And also the other, we definitely need to handle the noxious weed issue. And as far as that list goes, I definitely do want one, so I'm requesting it right now. Thank you. But yeah,
you can find it on the county website as well. It's already established on this county website.
Okay.
So we would be establishing that list, and we can get you a copy for sure.
Okay. All right.
But I will look into that. The topic, so I can figure out what exactly is on the tribe's list of indigenous species.
Yeah, I think it's really important that they be involved. I think that's the most I think that's very important before you make any decisions. As long as they've got they've had a chance to meet with you and talk to you about that, I think that would be a wonderful idea. Thank you.
We're basically the same list that the county has.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they assume that they would have.
I would think they would. I would double check. On
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Certainly something to look into.
Yeah. Anybody else have any comments or questions?
Well, since Theon brought that up, wouldn't we fall under the county anyway? So all that would happen is if there are some on there, we still have to follow the county. with our noxious weed list, we would just be adding to what the county already has to enforce, is that correct?
Well, we may, I think the county's probably already, dug into this. And, I guess if there's something that's on the county list, we could always amend it to say indigenous, if there's indigenous plants that shouldn't be on it, but I think the county's probably already went through this. They're pretty thorough on that. So,
We can definitely double check and look into that.
yeah. But I don't think it's gonna affect us too much, really.
Yeah, it's. Okay, any other questions? We have a motion and a second, unless there's any other comments. I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thanks. That ordinance passes.
That was waive the second reading?
Yes. Okay, we'll move on to the last ordinance we have on the agenda today, and that's ordinance number 1554, recreational vehicle. This, again, at the last ordinance committee meeting, the ordinance committee made this recommendation. The city desires to update the provision of chapter 8.45, the Goldendale Municipal Code, to clarify that the occupancy of a recreational vehicle within the city, except in a permitted recreational vehicle park, for a period of more than 14 consecutive days or 30 days in a calendar year, constitutes a public nuisance. Again, our building official, Robert Thompson, is here to answer any questions. And again, there are two different motions for the council to consider at your discretion. Robert, would you like to elaborate on this before we ask for a motion?
So this chapter is already in the code, but it's kind of tucked away in a really odd spot. When it was, I can't remember exactly, trying to remember what it is. It was yard buffers. And I thought, why is this in yard buffers? So it's still there, but it's gonna also move to the nuisance code where it's more, I don't know, it's easier to enforce if it's in that nuisance code. That makes it just easier for us to follow through on the nuisance codes, rather than just digging deep in there and finding it. So it's exact same wording, it's just pretty much moved locations to the nuisance code instead of in yard buffers.
Is there a way to track that it's in two different spots so that if it does get updated again, for whatever reason, you'll be able to basically ensure that it wouldn't contradict each other?
It can, it's exact same wording.
But if one of these ordinances gets changed later on, the other one,
I
that's
don't know
what
why
I'm worried about.
he wanted to keep it in there. He said we just leave it in there where it is. So.
Okay.
I don't know that.
Do you understand why I'm
Unfortunately,
asking that?
use the reference to the nuisance code
Okay.
for this particular thing. I'm not gonna reference to other codes.
Yeah, good, Steve.
I noticed there's some language in here regarding storage recreational vehicles. Pertaining to actually having, there's a few instances around town where they use them full garbage.
Yeah.
And I believe I've seen language that pretty much mirrors what's in here as far as where you can store your RV on your property.
It's supposed to be stored in the driveway. Supposed to be stored in the driveway.
In the driveway or alongside the house.
Doesn't say that. It says in the driveway.
In the driveway.
I know we have some right now that are parked really in the right of way, along the right of way.
Yeah.
So, it's a tough one to deal with because, you know. Yeah, we already have established this, they're supposed to be parked in a driveway. It says
Yeah,
that.
I thought I seen language some years ago where
It
it
designated
allowed
driveway.
to set beside, if you had enough room, you could put beside your house.
It says, I think the fact that says designated. But if somebody has a spot off side of their house that's gravel, I mean, I don't think we need to go after people for that. If they're keeping them, you know, and not living, you know, because people have RVs, we live in a area where recreation is really popular, a lot of people have campers, so I don't think we need to go that far, but I think we still need to enforce the living in the RVs.
Living in and parking in the easements. There you go.
Oh, Theon, yes, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Just quick question, so that, I may have missed it, but it has nothing to do with like mother-in-law unit, that's all totally separate.
That's a totally separate thing, and I'm working on, that would be an ADU. And I'm working on ordinances right now, I kind of have them worked out, and then I went into the WAC and the WACs, and I was, quite a bit off on what we can do according to the state laws to kind of restrict us on what we can enforce, so I'm going over that with, our attorney to make sure that when we do get it, we get it right and the first time, and we're not, breaking any Washington state, laws. So, but no, that's not what this is.
Wonderful, thank you, I just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you, Theon.
I move to adopt ordinance number 1554, amending Goldendale Municipal Code section 8.45.070 to designate the occupancy of a recreation vehicle anywhere within the city except a permitted recreational vehicle park for a period of time in excess of 14 consecutive days or 30 days in a calendar year, a public nuisance, and waive the second reading.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Yes, actually.
Oh, go ahead.
So, it doesn't affect, like what Steve was trying to bring up, like this is only people living in these recreational vehicles, correct?
Yes, it's, what it is that we allow people to, like, if they have company over, want to come over and stay in their RV for like 14 days, 14 consecutive days, that is allowed. Or if they have people coming over, a couple weekends a year, it's allowed for up to 30 days, but not for full-time residency in an RV. It exceeds that.
Thank you.
And that's been the ordinances stated the exact same language, we just moved it to a new area for easier enforcement.
Thank you, Theon. Any other comment? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. The motion passes. All right, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, and that's a report of officers. And we'll start over here with Steve Johnston.
Hey, thank you, Your Honor. Nothing other than I would like to commend yourself, the mayor, the city staff, all the employees of the city for doing a great job this last year. Everybody was busy, everybody was on their toes, we got a lot accomplished. And so I commend you to the extreme. And I would like to say salute to our other colleagues here. It's been a pleasure and an honor serving with you guys. And
Well, thank you, Steve.
we'll miss you.
Thank you.
So,
Thank
and Merry Christmas to everyone.
you. Mhm.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Theon.
I just thank you so much, Mylan. I hope you will stick around and help us out and don't let us go too soon.
I'll show you around.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Mentorship, even after you're not on the council. And Ellie, I'm gonna miss you. And thank you so much. That's really all I have to say. And happy holidays.
Thanks, you too. Thank you, Theon. Ellie, Casey.
Well, just thank you guys. Thank you all. The last 4.5 years have definitely been an experience and one I might not miss quite soon. Other than that, I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Ellie. And Dion.
I just want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone, and also thank you to Ellie and Mylan for serving on council. It's been a pleasure with working with both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, and also,
Yes.
I know that I think Shelley got the ball rolling, but the city hall looks great with the Christmas lights. And thank you to the Public Works for doing that.
Yeah, great. Thanks. Danielle Clevidence.
Yes, I was gonna say also that the building looks fantastic. It looks wonderful, and I see that a lot more businesses have put stuff up this year, and it really, really looks great. And thank you to the Goldendale Brighter Christmas group, who put on a fantastic, I had a migraine, so I didn't see it, but I did hear it from my house, and I saw pictures. But I hear that it was wonderful, and every year it seems like it's getting better and better, and thank you for that. Ellie Myland, certainly been a pleasure, the last 2 years, and I'm sure I'll see you around, both of you, and if you ever need anything, don't hesitate to call.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Danielle. Mylan Walling.
Well, thank you, Mayor. No, again, this is the end of the month here, will be the end of my 8 years, and I've enjoyed being on the council, working with the two mayors, Mayor Mike Cannon and Mayor Dave Jones, and we've got a lot accomplished. And I think in the future, the council has more work to do, but we're working on a lot of great projects. One project I would like to really consider really looking at, I know we talked about it before, and that's Hill Street. A lot of work needs to be done on Hill Street.
Mill Street, right?
Mill Street, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Thank you,
absolutely.
Mayor. Mill Street, and a lot of work needs to be done on that. Not that it's gonna happen in one day, but then we just need to kind of have I think there should be maybe an update once in a while on that project. Another project that I never bought up, and one thing during the COVID, it was tough, and it was tough for everybody. And I just, but one thing I did, I never talked about it really that much. I was still up there in Olympia, and I went 3 times to the governor's office. The legislative building was closed, so the governor's staff would come out and talk to me. And I've talked to a number of issues, and one thing I would bring up, I said, some of the what the governor is asking for really doesn't go over too good with here in Goldendale. And they just said, well, message taken, and that's all I can really say on that, but then at least I spoke up, for the city, and and then again with the being a member of the councils, I've definitely tried to put the city of Goldendale on the map. In fact, the German counselor told me one time, so, well, Mylan, you put Goldendale on the map. I was like, well, yeah, I tried, so, but anyway, I just, like I said, I enjoyed, working not only working with the council, the staff, and, one thing I am a little disappointed, and maybe Ellie would agree with me, I was hoping we would get that new table placed.
Oh,
But anyway, we realized it takes time, and
We'll make sure to invite you both when it comes in.
Yeah, okay, right. Anyway, anyway, that's, again, thank you, everyone, and that's all I have to say. Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks, Mylan, appreciate it. Well, great, and yeah, I wanted to echo, we'll really miss both of you on the city council. Me and Ellie came in the city council on the first day together as city council members, and it's amazing how much I've learned since then about how city government works, and it's just been a real pleasure and joy working with both of you on all different projects. I wanted to also, big congrats to the Brighter Goldendale Christmas group on another outstanding Candy Cane Lane parade and festivities at the lodge. It was a great parade and great community get together. FYI, City Hall won 3rd place for best decorated business. So thanks to our public works group putting up those lights, and it turned out really good. Okay, well, that's all I had for now. We'll move on to the next item on the agenda, and that's open public comment. Is there anybody here or on the line that would like to make a public comment? Any topic? No holds barred. Does anybody on the line have their hand up? I don't see any hands up. Okay. Okay, great. We'll close public comment. Now we're going to take a brief break to move into executive session. We'll give Shelley a chance to
Time do we need?
yeah, we'll establish that. If anybody needs to take a quick bathroom break before we go to executive session, that would be fine. Shelley's got some material on there to get booted up onto the screen. Tony, are you still on the line there?
Yes, I am.
You got a estimation on how long we should move, how many minutes we should dedicate to this executive session to start off with? We can always extend it if we go over.
Well, I don't think it'll take more than 30 minutes. It might take less.
Okay. How do you think we start off with 20 minutes? And then if
Okay.
it takes more than 20 minutes, we can make a quick motion to extend it.
Perfect.
Okay, so that sounds good. We'll go into executive session for 20 minutes. We'll take a brief break to give Shelley a chance to clear the Zoom room. Our lawyer, Tony, will stay on there, and our Public Works Director, Doug, will stay on there. And then Shelley will take a few minutes to get some materials put together, and we'll distribute that. So thank you, everyone, for coming. Merry Christmas.
Mayor,
Yes, yes, sir.
could
Yes,
we
Tony.
also have Mike stay?
Yes, Mike is here in attendance, so he's staying. Yes, thank
Okay.
you.